So last week I said that I was going to finally start turning this room into my office, including a Murphy bed. Unfortunately, I've already run into a few complications with that project, so it may take me a little longer than expected, but that being said, I don't want to waste the week waiting around. So I'm going to start making our bedroom feel finished and a lot more like us, and hopefully somewhere along the way I can get that Murphy bed figured out too. So before I go in and start making everything pretty in here, I need to fix the literal hole in our bedroom door. This has been here since before we moved in, and somehow it's just become one of those things we stopped noticing. That's a door stopper, all right. It stopped the door by punching a hole through it. All right, so this should be pretty easy. I'm just gonna remove the pin. Can you hold the door, or do you think it'll hold in place by Kirby? Your services are not needed here, sir. My God, this won't even. This style of door stopper is atrocious. I would not put this in any doors because because literally every door that we have that has used this style of stopper, has punched a hole through the door. Every single one of them. Okay, this is where I need your help because the hinge is off center now. There we go. It's in place now. We're good. No. Okay, I'm gonna fill this with great stuff and plastic wood. So these are hollow core doors that we have, and I repaired the spots on one of them downstairs. I didn't actually watch a video beforehand on how to repair doors, so keep in mind, I don't know that this is the proper way to do it or not, but on the other ones that I repaired, you literally can't tell that there was ever a hole in the first place. So I'm gonna take some great stuff, gaps and cracks, because I want to create a backing, because like I said, this is literally a hollow core door. So I need a backer for my putty to go over. Oh no, is this one dead? No, it might be. I think it's clogged. Come on, this bottle is almost full too. All right, so I managed to spray some of the great stuff into this area here, and it overfilled, which is fine. At least now it'll have like a pretty substantial backing before I put some of this plastic wood on it. There we go. Probably need to add some more water to this, honestly. I'm basically just filling this so that it's like a semi-flat surface, and then when it dries, I'm gonna sand it down and sort of carve some of the similar pattern that's here into this, and then hopefully we can make it look like there was never a hole in the first place. All right, that should be good enough. So now in the meantime, while this dries, now I have to get to painting the bedroom. Look at this hideous vomit brown color. We are going to be painting over it with a much nicer color. God, I really need to replace this broken window. We don't currently have the money for that though, so that's gonna have to be later down the line. In the meantime, I think it's gonna make a huge difference coming in and getting rid of this absolutely horrendous color. So the original plan for this week's video was going to be getting started on building that Murphy bed. And I've never built a Murphy bed before, so this is the first time I'm researching it or really just having to deal with it at all. And now Murphy beds are incredibly expensive to purchase. The cheapest ones I was finding were $2,000, and that was just for like the springs and the frame for the bed to go on. That's not for like the cabinetry or any of that stuff, right? So I was like, F that, I'm just gonna build my own, you know? And there are a lot of plans for them on the internet that are free and available, which is great. But one of the things that no one explained to me about Murphy beds is the fact that there are pretty significant limitations with them, specifically for the versions that like you build yourself. One of the limitations of it is a lot of them say that the mattress can be no thicker than 12 inches, which is pretty okay. That's not like anything too crazy. It usually means you can't have like a pillow top or things like that because that adds additional like height to it. But anyways, the big thing that was a problem was the mattress weight. So the way that Murphy beds work is that they are usually made with either springs or like a hydraulic system, and the king and queen size ones only support 60 to 80 pounds. And if you're thinking to yourself, that sounds a little bit lightweight, you would be correct, my friend, because I was looking up like some of my favorite mattress brands just to find out how much they weigh, including one of those that you get like in a box. Like I recently purchased one from Costco that was, I think it was Nova Foam, and that's a pretty good mattress too. And it's one of those like lightweight roll up box ones, right? So I was like, oh, I wonder if that'll work because, you know, it's a little lightweight, compact, whatever. Wrong. That mattress is, I think they said 120 pounds. That's for the lightweight ones. So I'm not entirely sure why they build hydraulic systems and springs to only support that kind of weight. Because basically what you're setting yourself up for is that you can only have this like really thin, flimsy, lightweight mattress, which like I don't want, you know, a 60-pound mattress. For an adult size mattress. This is not for like a kid's like little twin size. No, this is for a king. 60 pounds for a king size mattress? That makes no sense to me. So anyways, while I'm figuring that out, we're just gonna be transforming the bedroom, which I'm actually really excited about because I would like to get to the point where I have at least one space in the house that feels like completed, which that's not gonna be today because I have to tear out this bathroom and do like all kinds of stuff to make it like done. But with what we're gonna do today, it's not gonna be complicated, and I feel like it's gonna make such a huge difference with how this room looks. I'm so excited to show you guys this very satisfying before and after. When I redo this bathroom, I want to knock in this wall and build it out so there's no longer a nook here, and then we can extend the shower. Because I understand that this nook, I think, was clearly for a television, but man, was this a stupid place to put a TV. I was just about to go in and paint this windowsill, and I found this like, I don't even know what the hell this is. Hold on. I legitimately thought that this was a hard material because they painted over it. I was like, oh, maybe it's a hard putty. No, it's not. I have no idea what that is. Ew. It's like waxy. On camera, it kind of looks like old paint, but it is not. That is like a waxy substance. What the hell? Okay, let's make that look better. I know I'm getting paint on the windowsill, but there's already like so much brown paint that they had there, and I will fix it later, but for right now, I don't want to see that brown paint anymore. Like seriously, they just freaking put it everywhere. So I am genuinely so excited to move on to this portion of the video. I have not finished painting the rest of the room yet because it's a really big room, so it's gonna take me a hot minute to do. But this portion of the room is completely painted and dried. And so far, the paint color is really making the room look a lot calmer, but it is feeling pretty bare and unfinished. And I think that curtains are really going to change the feel of the entire room, which is why I think it is so awesome that this portion of today's video is sponsored by TWOPAGES. Tim and I also haven't been sleeping very well because I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but there's quite a few windows in this room. These two being the big ones. And we have not had any curtains since we have moved in, which means that every morning, Tim and I wake up bright and early from being blasted by the sun. And I am really excited to get a good night's sleep, so let's install these. Okay, I got some curtain rods at the store the other day. Oh my God, are you serious? Oh no, I got the wrong size curtain rod. Okay, you know what? I think we can fix this actually. This curtain rod that I installed is quite a bit too large for this bedroom, but that's okay because the hardware is the same. I should be able to just swap them out. But I only have one of the long ones, so I'm gonna have to replace the other one. But I just really wanna get these curtains up. So this should get us started. Let's get this hung up. TWOPAGES asked me to be honest, and that's exactly what you guys are getting, including purchasing the wrong sized curtain rod. Let's see if I put this at the right height. Because last time I hung this, I did it on sheer dumb luck and got it. Oh, haha, I think I did that correct. Okay, 1 down, 2 more to go. All right, now that I have 1 curtain rod hung up, I now get to open my new curtains. Right off the bat, these are heavy curtains. Like, I don't know that I've ever had, oh my gosh, a pair of substantial curtains like this. Ooh, this is nice fabric. This doesn't feel like any curtains that I've felt at like a box store before. I think this is high thread count. So when 2Pages sent me these curtains, they let me choose what kind of fabric I wanted, along with the measurements for the window, so that it should be a perfect fit. I wanted something that would make the room feel really put together, but not like overly formal. Seriously, this fabric feels really well made. Like, look at this. I wish you guys could feel it, but this feels like some substantial stuff. It's got a nice texture, but I don't think it's gonna compete with anything else in the room. These are nice. Oh, nice. It comes with adjustable pin hook installation guide. It comes with the thingies. These things. Okay, so the installation process is looking really straightforward. Here, let me show you guys really quickly because this is very easy. So these are pleated curtains, and this is where the pleat is. And here are one of the options that they give you for like how to hang it. So it just goes in between the pleat and slides up, and then it just hooks onto the curtain. You know, I have been trying for a long time now to try and find curtains that were exactly what I was looking for. I was actually even considering making my own curtains because I just couldn't find anything that was like pleated like this and looked substantial and wasn't just like a tactile nightmare, if that makes sense. Just like I'm really tired of the cheapo stuff. But then 2Pages came along and I got really excited because it turned out that they made exactly what I wanted. These curtains were sewn custom to the window measurements that I gave them. And I did plan on the curtains being a little bit higher and wider to frame out the window so the window didn't look smaller, and instead it looks nice and big. Look at how pretty she is. I'm so excited. Hold on, I gotta look at it over here. Oh my gosh, we have curtains. Well, I mean, correction, we have 1. We have 1 curtain. I got 3 more to put up, but I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, she looks so pretty. Now that is a nice curtain. It even has that like memory shaping, so it just like looks pretty. Okay, let's get this other curtain up. Oh my gosh. This just immediately changed the whole feel of the room. I cannot stop looking at how nice this is. I don't feel like I have the words to articulate this. This is not the style of curtain that you would just pick up at your average everyday box store. They feel very substantial. You know what the best way that I could explain this to you guys? I should weigh it. I know that this isn't necessary, but this is the only way I know how to describe it to you guys. So this is my cheapo curtain. So this curtain is about 1 pound, and this is the 2Pages curtain. I'm actually really curious to see how much of a difference this makes. And this one is a whopping 8 pounds. So I gotta go to the store to get another curtain rod that is the correct size for the other window. Before I do that, I really wanna see like how blackout this is. So this is the Isabella curtain in, I think beige white is the color. And it's the perfect color because it's a creamy white, but it's not too yellow. Look at that. I still have 4 more windows bleeding light in, but it's already so much darker just with this. This is gonna be great for heat management too. Guys, I'm mind blown. I love these curtains. I gotta go to the store so I can go hang the other one. So I hung up the other curtain rod, and now it looks so put together in here. Tim and I were talking about it, and I said, honestly, and I don't know if this makes sense, but it makes sense in my brain. These don't feel like curtains. These are like drapes. You know what I mean? Like this feels like something that I would imagine would be in like one of those like fairy tale castles with the hefty, you know what I mean? Anyways, I will link this down below if anyone is interested. And I wanted to give a big thank you to 2Pages for sponsoring today's video. Now we gotta finish painting. So I'm briefly interrupting to let those of you that are new here know that I post videos every single Monday. So make sure that you like and subscribe. Also, any products that are used or worn will be linked. Now back to the video. Okay, so it's kind of a weird angle, but I don't feel like resetting up my camera again. I have just sanded down this little patch here. And now we just need to match the texture. And I'm gonna be using a little chisel because Tim bought one the other day and I was like, oh, fancy new tool, I kinda wanna try that. But before I use a little putty knife, I also tried the screwdriver. Either one works. I'm just trying to get the texture to kind of match as best as we can so that you don't know that there was a patch there. So let's do that. All right, so now that I have my patch, it's dried, sanded, and carved to the best of my ability to sort of match the pattern of the door. And then I found another spot here that they did a really, really bad patch job on, so I carved it out and put putty in it, and that's drying. And I'm gonna do the same thing here as I did down here, which means that we now finally get to paint these two doors. Thank God, because they are so bad. I wonder if you can see it on camera. Yeah, I mean, the camera kind of does it justice. Trust me, it's worse in person. This is gonna be so satisfying. So we're taking a brief break because I have something really random to talk to you guys about / show you. So a couple of weeks ago, I was making some food and I said this, and I don't have one of those little fancy salt and pepper grinders, the ones that you gotta like plug in and then they turn it over and it's got the blue light and it like grinds and stuff, because I honestly think that's kind of stupid. Tim's dad, his partner, Karen. She is so sweet and she has such a great sense of humor. She ended up sending me this. It's an electric salt and pepper grinder set. This is because I talked all that crap. So now we get to test this out. I put a little bit of like coarse salt in here because that's what I had. And this is black, so I can actually see. What the f? I may have spoken too soon. I actually kind of like this. This is cool. This is really cool. I should probably fill both of them and like put them on the table for the like, oh, you know? Okay, well, Karen, not just any Karen, the Karen of Australia, you know who you are. Thank you very much for the salt and pepper grinders. I actually like them. I'm also not surprised that my first encounter with an electric salt and pepper grinder would be from Karen. She is a tech-savvy, very smart, very sweet lady, and I like her very much. So, thanks, Karen. Kind of changed my world a little bit. Oh, there's Tim's dad. He's watering the watermelons outside. Oh, we've got a big-ass watermelon out there now. It's kind of crazy. You guys want to see it? I'm going to show you. Anyways, this is Big Bertha. Look at her. She just showed up. 2 days ago, we measured her, and she was 7 inches around, and today she's about a foot around. That's so crazy. We got melons. Well, we have one melon. We got a couple others sprouting up too. I want to know what you think.
It looks good. I like it.
Yeah?
It looks like a room instead of an empty box.
Does it feel like our bedroom?
Yeah. Well, it feels like a bedroom. I don't know that it feels like our bedroom.
What do you mean?
Well, it's new. You know what I mean? Like this house doesn't feel like our house.
There is nothing that I can do to make this man go,
no,
it feels like home.
I like it. It's cozy. It feels like a bedroom now.
I love it. Listen, my goal for today was not to complete the room, to make everything done from start to finish. My goal was to make it feel more like our bedroom instead of a room that we just put our bed in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I think you nailed it.
I think I accomplished that. I think it looks so good.
Yeah.
So to kind of round this out a little bit, I am still no closer to getting that Murphy bed done. I did a bunch of research and I'm still stumped, so we'll have to see. I'm determined to make it happen, but for right now, still figuring it out. Anyways, this is when I insert the before and after footage, and see you guys next week.